Hello, my name is Ray Salazar, and this is Morning Reel, a 200 minute or so podcast of films that I review of all nations, of all colors, of all times. Today, we're in the month of November, and to me, I chose dysfunctional family films or films that deal with like dysfunction in the family, in the workplace, whatever. And today, I'm gonna review Hereditary, man. And you know what's funny? A lot of people wanted me to review this film during the month of October because I feel like, it's appropriate. It's a horror film. Well, it's actually a 2018 American psychological supernatural horror film written and directed by Ari Aster. And this is his first film, dude. Good job, man. Hereditary sounds like a perfect film for October, but guess what? November. Family comes together. Families come together, especially during, turkey time. It's turkey time, dude. People come, they try to make amends or, just try to hang out. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but, we try nonetheless. This film, it is dysfunction as it can get. Let me go down this list real quick. Produced by Kevin Frakes, Lars Knudsen, and Buddy Patrick, starring Toni Collette, who I feel should have gotten a nomination for this film because she is great. Like when you see her in Little Miss Sunshine, she is like a baby compared to her character in Hereditary. Next off, Alex Wolff, Millie Shapiro, Ann Dowd, and Gabriel Byrne. Cinematography by Paweł Pogorzelski. Edited by Jennifer Lame and Lucien Johnston. Music by Colin Stetson. Production companies A24, What Up, Palm Star Media, Finch Entertainment, and Windy Hills Pictures. As we all know, this film was distributed by A24. And it was a box office hit. This film is 2 hours long. Just a little bit over 2 hours. And I gotta say, man, I've avoided Hereditary for a long ass fucking time because I'm just not into horror films of today. I haven't like really touched horror films for the last 10 to 15 years. I mean, I've seen the Annabelle stuff, I've seen the Conjuring stuff. Some of them are good, some of them are trash. Shout out to DJ Nels. G's up, hose down. Anyways, man, this film is a very simple ass film. There's no explosions. I mean, there are fires, there is arson, but it deals with family. It deals with like how two deaths can really just like kill a family, And it just goes so much more than that, dude. I must say, just to put it very, very brief as far as the plot is concerned. Annie Graham, she's a miniature artist. She's really good. And I love how the cinematography fits to her character as far as like her miniature art. Because we see these doll houses that look obviously staged. Some of the dollhouse rooms that we see are like staged as to how the actual like settings are in the film. Like let's just say we see her paint a room of her son's like bedroom, and then later on in the film we go to the actual son's bedroom and it looks almost identical to the miniature version. Really good stuff, man. It makes the film feel very third dimensional, even though it's just a movie, right? Annie, she's an artist, lives with her husband, 16-year-old son named Peter, and a 13-year-old daughter named Charlie. Annie's mom dies, right? She's heartbroken. Obviously, everybody's like kind of feeling it. But there are some things that we don't know about her mom. And her mom was like a really significant figure in a coven. Yes, a coven, witchcraft and all that stuff. Annie may or may not have known about this stuff, but whatever. We know about it either way. She knows about it either way. Either way, obviously Annie's in mourning. And the son, Peter, he's like just a high school kid who is just coasting through his high school career, right? Which is, I guess, apparently normal. And he smokes weed, which is all good, right? But I guess to the nature of the plot, it's really not that good. You know what's crazy, man? I must say, it's not the fact that he smoked weed that caused another tragedy in this family, but I must say, if he hadn't smoked, I'm pretty sure things would have gotten a little bit better. But then again, as we go into the film, we see that that Peter was chosen to be the king, to be the chosen one of this covenant amongst these followers that contain old men and women, who were followers of Ellen, who was the mother of Annie. And it gets kind of crazy and deep as far as how we discover this. Obviously, Annie discovers this because she just wants to kind of know about her mom's life, and not only that, a friend of Ellen's kind of like pushed her to like, hey, you know what? I know a way where we can like contact Charlie and Ellen through the dead. And then he's like, come on, dude. Like, are you serious? I'm already going through enough as it is. And the chick's like, nah, dude. Like, I'm telling you. Even I thought it was crazy. And he tries it. And it turns out that Annie was successful at it. And it also turns out that Annie has abilities that, not anybody else knows. Obviously, she becomes obsessed with it. Not only does she want to bring Charlie back, but she wants to like keep her in this realm. And then Charlie, being Charlie, as we know, was a very eclectic being. Obviously didn't last too long, and it's messed up, man. It really is messed up to like having to witness two important people in your life go in a matter of like within the matter of weeks from each other or so, or days rather, And there's this obsession with Annie trying to like figure this out. And obviously that's the drive of this film. She wants to make sure that everything goes to normal, because it's like you open up Pandora's box, and then once you open it, it's just crazy from there on out. And I must say the things that happened in this film are really good. It really fits the narrative. Andy, let out Charlie, and now she wants to put Charlie back in back in the world that she belongs, which is like the afterlife, right? But Charlie's pissed, man. Charlie is super pissed to the fact where we see a human being be engulfed in fire. And I'm not going to explain or tell you how it happens, but it happens and it makes total sense. I think the characters of this film, they all play each other very, very well. We have the husband who is just like to the point where like, not only is he not worried anymore about his wife and the quote unquote antics she may be putting on, but he just kind of wants to leave. He wants just to like entirely give up the situation. And it just does not work at all, man. Like, everybody is screwed in this film. And that's what I love about this film. When you're looking at it, you can just tell that it's just not going to go well. Like, there's no happy ending in this film. What we see is a pretty realistic ending. It kind of reminds me of Rosemary's Baby. If you haven't seen Rosemary's Baby, got to do yourself a favor and watch Rosemary's Baby. It's a great film. It's very supernatural horror type stuff and very mundane compared to Hereditary as far as like visuals are concerned. And the visuals of Hereditary are great. They really are great, especially in the third act, man. And you know what, man? I guess when somebody watches this film who doesn't believe in the supernatural or in God or whatnot or in spirituality, period, I believe in this stuff, man. I've seen stuff. I've felt stuff. I'm not involved in this stuff, right? But you don't really have to be involved in it to kind of for your own body to be aware of it, And if your body is aware of it, you can't just deny it. If your stomach hurts, your body's gonna tell you that your stomach hurts, by feeling it. And we feel all these things in this film, and we see how this third act plays out, and it's honestly, it is fucking scary. Like it didn't make me like jump or anything, but I'm just like, man, like I can't imagine myself in Peter's shoes right now. Like this guy like saw his his dad's dead. He sees Annie crawling through the walls, like above him, side walls. Charlie's gone. He's alone in this fight. Shoot, man, one would think the only way to go is through death, but even you can't even escape death in this film. That's how fucking good this movie is. And it makes so much sense, man. And I have not talked too much about the plot. Plain and simple, man. Like, there's movies like this where people, like, want to discover things, right? And they're obsessed with it because they want to fix things or at least make sense of it. Because sometimes we can go through our lives really not knowing the people who we love. You know, there's mysteries like the series 6 Feet Under. Like the whole subtext of that show is like figuring out what the hell happened to my dad, dude. Like what kind of life did he live that he had a secret apartment building, he had a fucking weed dealer, stuff like that. This film Hereditary, we see what's up and the job is not done. We have followers who want to get the job done. They want their king back. It's like the beginning to the end of the world of some kind. And you know what's funny though, and I thank God that there is no sequel to this film because there shouldn't be, period, especially after seeing it. Like I wonder like how powerful and how big this coven could get with the fact that, hey, they finally made a successful sacrifice. And when you see it on screen, and again, the cinematography, how it plays these characters, how it plays tricks on us, not playing tricks on them, but they're playing tricks on us. And I dig it. I dig the fact that like when we look at a long take of a close up, we're like, man, what the fuck's gonna happen? What's gonna happen next, man? And like, are we gonna get a reaction of some kind? Because we just don't know. This film leaves us on our toes. It gets our head scratching. By all means, watch this film. I'm not gonna tell you more about the plot, but it's quite a ride. It makes sense. All the emotions are there. The cinematography is great. Sound design is great. Even the production design is pretty good, man. Like this film kind of does just putting us into their world and having them spit us back out, you know. Follow me at Morning Shot Films, IG and YouTube. Check out this episode, this podcast called Morning Reel. Send your requests, submissions, questions at officialmorningreel@gmail.com. I'm not going to tell you what the next film is. As you know, I have a long list to go. But I've seen the film The Little Things recently with Denzel Washington, and I can't name the other dude's name, but I avoided this film too. And it's crazy. I saw this film recently. I'm like, why did they have this guy co-starring with Denzel Washington? Then I remember Mr. Robot. Remember how popular that show was? Thank you.